Okay, now we're going to check in on what is going on with gold exploration in Quebec. We're going to be joined now by the president and the CEO of O3 Mining, Jose Vizquerra. Prior to his appointment at O3 Mining, Jose was executive vice president of strategic development for Osisko Mining, which he joined from Oban, where he led the combination of Oban Corona, Eagle Hill, and Ryan Gold to form Osisko Mining. Before that, Jose was head of business development for Compañía de Minas Buenaventura. Jose currently serves as a director of Osisko Mining and Sierra Metals, and as an advisor to the boards of Discovery Metals and Palomino Resources. The Young Mining Professionals recognized Jose as one of their Young Mining Professionals of the Year when he was awarded the 2019 Peter Bunk Award. Jose is also an alumni of the General Management Program at the esteemed Wharton School of Business. Jose, welcome back to the Global Mining Symposium. Did you get to see some of that presentation from Britt? And is there things that have applicability to O3 Mining? Where's O3 sit with all of this AI? Are you guys using much AI to go through all the data to make new discoveries?
We did. In fact, we were, I think, one of the first groups using AI in the property that we bought from Alexandra Minerals, which is on the eastern side of Val-d'Or. And actually, a lot of very interesting things came up from the artificial intelligence job that we did. And this is really good for the industry, because this means that new deposits that are blind will be found, and will be giving more opportunities for other companies to have discoveries. At the end, we all benefit from the good results of other companies. In our case, with our results, our company has been benefiting. No? So I think it's a very good thing that is happening.
Excellent. Mutual feeding, and it elevates the entire industry. Absolutely. Well said. Okay, Jose, I will turn it over to you, and you can give us a bit of a deeper dive on what O3 is up to.
Great, thanks. So O3 Mining is part of the let me get this sort out here, 1 second. O3 Mining is part of the Osisko Mining Group, and we have been working diligently on our most important project called Marban. And Marban is certainly a project that has a lot of very interesting things, which the most important thing is value. When we look at this company is a company that wants to go into production, mostly focused in Quebec, particularly in Val-d'Or. Two main projects, Marban and Alpha, a very unique group of individuals that are driving this company forward. In the case of Luis Gariepi, our Vice President of Exploration, has a couple of discoveries in his belt, a person with a lot of experience, and someone that it is certainly very important for the continuance of the discoveries in the case of O3 Mining. We have Alex Rodriguez, who has been working with us now for a number of years, and he is coming from Glencore. He has been working at Glencore in Volcan in Peru, and Mirza Bello, who is coming from the consultancy with SNC Lavalin, and we are extremely happy with how things has been progressing. Jean Felix has just joined us from Goldcorp in order for us to move our project from pre-feas from PEA to pre-feas and to feasibility. Very important to mention is where we are in terms of value. So we are moving from, we believe that we have the opportunity to move from $156 million where we are right now to 3 times where we are, because that's what we have in fundamental value. And that is actually assuming that our preliminary economic assessment was showing $1,450 per ounce gold. At $1,750, and today we are at 19. At $1,750, we are talking about a fundamental value of over $700 million. So you're talking about, again, from 150 times 2 to 300 times 3 to 450 times 4. This is where we are. This is the quality of asset that we have. in a country like Canada, where the rule of law exists and it is respected, and in a place like Quebec, where the amount of natural resources that exist is phenomenal, and in a place like Quebec and Canada, where we have very solid groups that are supporting us. These are the different groups that are covering us, where two of the larger banks are covering us as well, with an average target price of around $5. Not less important to mention, our family office, including myself, owns 7% of this company. So we are very much aligned with our shareholders. We have been buying in every single financing and being part of the lead of the financing. As part of this idea that Quebec is very important because of the rule of law, because Quebec has a lot of endowment, because there's a lot of gold to continue to be discovered, it is very important to show a little bit of the history in all these discoveries. And one of them was Sigma-Lamaque in the case of El Dorado, which now is a mine in production or has restarted production a couple of years ago. It's been very successful. The case of Kina, where people thought that there was nothing else to be discovered, and Wesdome came in and came a new discovery, and now it is a fantastic opportunity. And certainly the case of Canadian Malartic, which is a very emblematic mine, that is the largest mine in Canada, and where they are moving right now from being an open pit to being an underground mine, especially with the discoveries of Barnat, East Malartic, and East Goldie. And that shows that in an area that is considered already a brownfield or a mature area, with new techniques, going back to advance more, and by being systematic in our exploration. So with that, what I can mention is that we have continued to find mineralization in 2019, and where we are working towards putting this into production. What we have been advancing, we're moving from PEA to pre-feas. We have finished our metallurgical work, moving from practically 94% to 96%. We are now working on our resources, which will be ready in the next couple of weeks. We sincerely expect that next week or the week after, we could have the new resources for Marban. We certainly expect that the very minimum, we're going to move from inferred to measured and indicated. If we get an additional resource, then that would have been a bonus. And we believe that that is something that could happen. And we are very, very excited about that. We will be finalizing our baseline studies, which are very important. We expect to have our pre-feasibility study ready by Q3, and by Q4, we expect to have a resource in another project called Bulldog. Now, this really shows in the case of Marban what we have been doing, which is expanding the pits, expanding in the surroundings of the pit. So we have been drilling in all this area. We have been drilling around this area, we're drilling below in this area, and it is very clear that we could be seeing a little bit of an upgrade on our resource, and we're very excited because of that. One thing that is very important about Quebec is the fact that deposits go deep and they don't stop. This is what we have in terms of our open pit, but it's very clear that in Quebec, especially we can see here, Goldex goes up to here. In the case of Camflo, which was the first mine from Barrick Gold, went up to here. In the case of Kina, up to 1.5 kilometers. So the opportunity that we have after we mine the open pit, and which shows already a $423 million in fundamental value at $1,450, and I keep repeating that because we use $1,450 at these levels of gold, we will be at over $700 million in fundamental value when this company has a market cap of $150 million and over $85 million in cash, which is very, very important to mention about what opportunity you are seeing right now in front of you, and then you will have to decide if you take advantage or not. We're moving now from Marban engineering, where we already have a pre-feasibility study, moving a PEA study, moving to a pre-feasibility study, into Alpha, where we have a potential for new discoveries. We are operating in 3 main areas. the most important one, Bulldog, where we are going to have a resource for Q4. We have this area, which is only a couple meters from El Dorado, from Sigmalamac, where we have similar intrusions, and we're drilling that and expecting to have some news in the near future. And Acazaba, which is on the eastern side of Acazaba West, which is a project that will be developed by Agnico, has been already press released, as I understand. And here is where we have been exploring, which is the most important area called Bulldog. And finally, what are our next steps? And our next steps are the Marban engineering and the resource update in the next couple of weeks. We will continue with our drilling campaign. We'll have our pre-feasibility study by Q3. We'll have Bulldog by Q4. This has been an exercise and a company that had a very clear vision for the last 2 years, expecting to be in production by 2026, delivering every single time on every single milestone that we have been speaking about, maintaining very physically being very diligent, and we expect to continue being the same way, and we will continue to be very disciplined fiscally, and we'll continue to be very disciplined with our cash. And we expect to, most important, to get the results out to the market and to increase the shareholders' returns. So with that, I will pass to Anthony.
Excellent, Jose. Thank you very much. Yeah, a lot of value there that you guys are steadily unlocking, especially with Marban. We have a question here around that. You mentioned the pre-feasibility study. An audience member just wants that laid out a little bit more clearly. If you can kind of reiterate, what are the milestones and the timelines that people can expect to see as you go towards that pre-feasibility study on Marban?
Yeah, so right now, what we're going to have is the new resource for Marban engineering. That's going to happen in the next 2 weeks or a week. After we already finished, first of all, metallurgical as results. Now it's coming the resource, then comes the baseline studies, then the pre-feasibility, which is Q3 this year, 2022. And then Q4, we're going to have a new resource for Bulldog. And we certainly expect from what we do in terms of exploration to have a discovery, which will be the cherry on top of the pie. But this is a company built on fundamental value. And, you know, we didn't expect this, but with these gold prices, we're moving from a PEA for $423 million to something around $700 million. And our market cap is $150 million with $85 million in cash.
Yeah, you're in line for revaluation there, Jose, by all accounts. But that 80 plus million you alluded to in cash, I mean, that's a very strong strategic thing to be holding on to. How long does that take you through? When do you anticipate next round of financing?
$30 million of that is hard dollars and flow through. And then we have $50 million in investments, which is 30% of a company called Moneta Gold. But that amount of money should take us, without having to do anything with Moneta, which we believe is very strategic, to move up to feasibility. So that should allow us to move to feasibility. Once we reach feasibility, to build all the financial instruments around that to put the mine into production.
Excellent. It's a really good story, Jose. Doing a wonderful job over there, you and your team. So we'll continue to watch with great interest. Thank you for joining us and supporting the Global Mining Symposium. We wish you all the continued success.
Anthony, thank you very much for your time. It's a great time to see you.
Excellent. Thank you, Jose. Take care.
All the best. Ciao.
Bye-bye.